Hello, everyone. My name is Sally Howell. I want to welcome you all to another installation of the Zoom in on the Halal Metropolis project. We're visiting leaders of the Muslim community in the metro area to talk to them about how the community is faring in the COVID-19 pandemic. We did some of these interviews back in the spring when the pandemic was new, and we're revisiting some of the people we spoke to before to talk about how the community has been doing, really, and to also think now about what lies ahead. So I want to welcome my guest Sam Beydoun to talk to us. Sam is a realtor in the city of Dearborn, and he's on the Wayne County Commission. How are you doing, Sam? Welcome.
Good afternoon, Sally. Thank you for having me. Good to see you again. We haven't seen each other in person since when you had the exhibit at U of M.
I don't know, or yeah, I guess the exhibit, which was back in February, or maybe the Bernie Sanders event which was
yeah, Bernie Sanders event at the South End. Yes.
That was the very last week that I was out in public.
Yeah, before the March 10th primary, the Super Tuesday. Yeah.
Exactly. So tell me, how have you been? How's your family doing?
Everybody is doing good. Thank you for asking. We're all staying safe. I hope you and your family are safe as well. These are challenging times, and we'll get through this. But we need to stay. We need to stay united, if you will, in our effort to defeat this deadly virus. And
tell me how Dearborn's been doing, because I know that the end of the summer was especially hard. I think people lost some of that discipline that they had early on, and we saw the virus really spreading. And I know that the numbers were just really scary in the fall. So how are things doing today?
Well, like today, I share the report every day on Facebook. The numbers are still like around 15, 20 in the teens, in the low teens, if you will. But that's a big improvement. For a while we were hitting 100, 120, 130. We got as high as 180 cases per day. But things are improving. As you know, Dearborn is the second largest city in Wayne County, and we have about 100,000 people in Dearborn. Dearborn was hit especially hard during this pandemic. We've had we lead actually the number of cases behind the city of Detroit. But we've lost many members of the Dearborn community to COVID-19. This virus is serious, it's deadly, it does not discriminate between young and older and different ethnicities. It hit us hard here in the city of Dearborn, and many of my friends, I've lost several, people that I know. Some of them had underlying health conditions, granted, but if it wasn't for the deadly virus, they would still be alive today.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, I think you can't live in Michigan, or especially in this part of the state, and not know many people who have died, and other people who have suffered sort of long. You can tell that they're going to have consequences that they have to live with. Yeah, I agree. It's just been devastating here. And as someone who interviews, I'm an oral historian, and I've worked a lot on local history. So I've worked a lot with senior citizens in particular. And several of the people who I interviewed for my book or for some of my other projects have passed away. And it's just been.
And I got to tell you, Sally, I really feel especially bad for the seniors who have been stuck in their homes, their apartments for the last year. And many of them cannot see their children or grandchildren because of the virus and this pandemic. So it's taken its toll on many people.
Yeah, and my husband was sick. He was hospitalized last month, not for COVID, for something else. But I just know how difficult it was for me to have him in the hospital and me not be able to go.
Yeah,
with
you
him.
can't visit him.
I couldn't like advocate for him. I mean, it was so difficult. It was horrible. So my heart goes out to everyone who's been affected by this. But we do have some good news here. The vaccine is coming.
Yes,
the vaccine
yes,
is here. So tell me what's happening with the vaccine.
So, as you know, many residents have been getting the vaccines in Wayne County, especially different age groups. Right now, they're vaccinating people who are 65 and older, Teachers in Dearborn, for example, they were getting vaccinated yesterday and today. Police, fire, EMS, and other frontline workers were the first to take the vaccine. And right now, the problem that we're facing, Sally, is not having adequate amount of vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne County has 1.7 million. We are the largest county in the state, and yet we're not getting enough vaccine. The city of Detroit, they have their own health department. They're getting, substantial amount of vaccine considering the population, but they're doing a good job in vaccinating their residents as well. So, my message would be for people to be patient. The vaccine is coming. Many people have been registering with their hospitals, the hospitals they're affiliated with, like Beaumont, Henry Ford, and DMC. And I'm working on something for the city of Dearborn. Hopefully, we will know something next week. We're working on bringing the vaccine to Dearborn for seniors that are 65 and older. We will make an announcement officially once we have everything in place. We're communicating with the Dearborn police Chief Haddad and the mayor's office and the fire department and the health department in Wayne County. So our goal is to vaccinate all the seniors 65 and older, especially the ones that are in the high-rise building in the city of Dearborn and senior housings, and they cannot get out. So we have a plan. The city of Dearborn has a plan to vaccinate all of those residents that need to be vaccinated.
Can you take it to them?
Yeah, there's a possibility that and I'll leave that up to the mayor's office and the chief to announce how they're going to do it. Logistically, it could be done, to send people in there and vaccinate them. So that's the good news as far as the vaccine. And eventually, and it's encouraging when you hear that the president yesterday announced that by the end of July, we will have vaccinated 300 million Americans, which is good news, so hopefully we'll get back to our normal lives very soon, hopefully.
Yeah, we're planning for the fall on campus, and we're talking about still teaching online in the fall. And I don't want to ever teach online again after this. But I hear the public school teachers in Dearborn are getting the vaccine, so that's super. And the public schools are opening again on a limited fashion. So I'm sure that's
starting in the first week of March.
Yeah, so that's great news for families and for kids. So
yes.
Well, so in your other life, you're a realtor. So how has this affected that part of your life?
Believe it or not, strangely enough, we've been busier than ever. People are still buying and selling. Real estate market is very hot in this area of Dearborn Heights. It's still a seller's market. There aren't too many homes for sale on the market. When you get homes in the price range between $200,000 to $300,000, you're getting multiple offers. Homes are selling over asking price. So it's been a very good market, even during the pandemic, which is kind of unbelievable. Look at what the stock market is doing.
I mean, it's insane. Yeah, a lot of, I think that one thing that's happened is people have been desperate for more square footage in these years. And so people who are renting, like maybe a flat, maybe they're willing to buy a house now, or like you see in New York City, a lot of people left the city and bought houses in the suburbs around New York, or even out in the countryside. So I can believe that the real estate market is hot, especially places with a little bit of square footage,
Yeah, and what's driving the market too is we are in a very low interest rate environment. It's very cheap to borrow money from the bank, so that makes it very attractive for buyers, and sellers to move around. And now there's even a discussion, through the Biden administration. I read that they're trying to have a program for first-time home buyers where they can give a first-time home buyer an incentive to buy a home. I think I heard somewhere around like $700 or $7,500, which also would bring the demand even higher. And that's going to drive prices even higher.
Well, I know that last time I thought about this, or spoke with anybody about it, there was concern in Dearborn about the tax rate, that was really high for homeowners. Is there any plan to do anything about that? I mean, are you
Well,
hearing people complain about it?
there's been a lot of concerns being raised, and I have, as a realtor, this issue is dear and near to me. I've been helping many of my past clients and friends and family members to lower their property taxes every year in March. It's coming. The assessments will be coming out very soon. People have the opportunity to appeal their assessed values through the city of Dearborn and Dearborn Heights and neighboring cities. Yeah, we do have one of the largest millages around. It's 62.59 for homestead. That has been a big concern for new homeowners, especially when you're talking about buyers buying in the range of $500,000 and above. It gets to be very expensive. There's something else that you might be interested in. We have 3.5 mills that it's coming up for renewal. It expires in June of next year. So the 3.5 mills was passed in 2013 when the real estate market crashed and the city was losing tax revenues, if you recall, and they were operating with deficiency. So they had to come up with this 3.5 mills, and I think it was renewed in 2016. Now it comes up for renewal again, and I don't know how it's going to be perceived in the Dearborn community now with having so many so many people complaining about the property taxes. So it could be an issue. 3.5 mills is a lot.
Yeah, I guess it could be an issue in this mayoral race, which is heating up in Dearborn.
Oh yeah, that's going to be central. People are already talking about what they're planning to do. Part of their agenda, and one of them, all of them, they're focusing on lowering property taxes because that could have an impact. Even though right now the real estate market is hot, it's still the high-end homes. They tend to sit a little bit longer because people think about how much the property taxes are going to be, especially after the property gets sold, what we call the pop-up tax. The Headley Amendment. A property is capped at a certain amount. It can go up only 2.5% or the inflation rate, whichever is less, as long as you live in your home. And I think this applies to your property also. You live in Ann Arbor, I believe. So you have a taxable value and a state equalized value. You'll always see a gap between these two values. And when the property gets unsold, it gets uncapped, then they reassess it, and then you'll have a SEV and taxable value being the same after the new owner moves in.
It'll jump for sure.
It'll jump, yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to hear that you're having a good year as a realtor. That's good news. It's good news for homeowners in Dearborn.
Yes.
And as Sam knows, that I've always, I lived in Dearborn when I was young, and I've always longed to move back there. I still have not made the journey. Haven't quite found the perfect house, but maybe.
You're just waiting for the property taxes to come down.
No, I live in Ann Arbor. I think our property taxes are higher than yours. So I'm waiting for the right house. But anyway, well, thank you so much for talking to us. And I'm glad that you've stayed healthy. And I really appreciate all the information that you put out. I mean, I see your social media posts every day. So I kind of I feel like I've got the temperature of what's going on in Dearborn. And I really appreciate all the service you've done. And I know that you've been distributing food to people and distributing vaccine to people. You're always on the front line. And I thank you for your service.
Thank you. We're doing what we're supposed to do. Thank you very much, Sally. Have a blessed day.
Take care. Bye-bye, Sam.
Thank you.